of all, a website with some marketing does not a strategy make. So just having your niche specific website sitting up online, you can't just now sit on your hands and say, okay, well, I did my website and I've recorded myself on video and I even wrote this amazing book and it's on Amazon, but I'm still not getting any sales. My agency's stagnant. Well, because you have to now put some rocket fuel behind that. And the way you do that is by having a proactive multi-channel marketing strategy to saturate your niche. And that will enable you to attract the clients on a consistent basis. And your positioning will make them choose you, like obviously this is the best guy in the space or gal in the space. And that marketing strategy needs to be inbound, it needs to be outbound, it needs to be online, and it should be offline as well. You want a multi-channel marketing strategy. And so I'm just going to break down 9 marketing initiatives that you can implement. You're not going to be able to do them all, but I want you to look at the options and start to pick the ones that will have the biggest impact for you. So I'll start with the one that worked best for us out of the gates. That's email marketing. This is kind of a potentially taboo area, but there's like a lot of email lists out there. There are ways to get names and email addresses and phone numbers of most of the companies in your space, be it InfoUSA, be it Scrapers, be it join the association and then having a virtual assistant call and get email addresses. Once you have emails, now you can start to drip relevant messaging on them, whether they opted in or not. And I don't know if Jimmy or somebody else is going to yell at me right now. This is, I guess, potentially a gray hat tactic. But I'll just tell you, I can only speak from my experience in the other agencies that we work with. A well-structured email marketing campaign, opted in or not, will generate attention, it will generate leads, and it will generate sales. So you want to have potentially email marketing, through Infusionsoft or through GetResponse or through some other email broadcast platform where you can send messages to your ideal prospect and be creative. The way I see most people fail with email is they treat it like a one-shot deal, right? They send an email, hey, I'm looking to work with a roofer and I work with roofers, would you call me back? And no, they won't. And no, they won't respond. And if that's all you did, you'd be dead in the water. But if you have a soft on-ramp, an introduction, and then hey, I'd like to send you a copy of my guide. And then hey, I'd like to invite you to a webinar I've got coming up. And then hey, here's the replay of the webinar that you didn't show up for. After a little while, they start to be like, okay, I see this guy and he kind of, or gal, and they get our industry, they're sharing useful information. And then you just continually add value to their life, right? You drip the information from your guide on them, you do new webinars on a consistent basis and you share that with them. Over time, they go from, what's the spam email, to, hey, this is kind of interesting stuff, to, who are these guys? Maybe I should just give him a shot, hear what he has to say, to, yeah, I hear from this guy all the time, he's a little bit obnoxious, but hey, I'll give him a shot, to he's your client. Right? I kind of stole that from Chet Holmes, those of you guys familiar with the ultimate sales machine, that whole progression from never heard of you to they're doing business with you. But that's what you want with all of your marketing. Nothing should be a one-shot deal. It should be a proactive, ongoing messaging campaign. The second thing you really want to do is to get involved in the associations in your niche. To me, this is the biggest shortcut to accelerated growth in any niche. Every market, roofing, dentistry, healthcare, chiropractic, there are associations. And there's associations that are national, the big dogs, and then there are local ones, and there are little subsects in each one. What you want to do is research the associations, kind of identify their websites, figure out what it takes to join, become an affiliate member, identify any upcoming events that they have. Usually they have 2 or 3 national events. A lot of them will have annual events, at the state and local level. And usually these events, they want to help to pay for the cost of the event. And the way they do that is by having sponsors. And so you could say, hey, I'll give you $2,000. Let me set up my little booth and I'll hang out at the event. That, in and of itself, will get you in front of your ideal target audience at a much higher level than cold calling does. And it's not a one-shot deal. You have to choose the associations wisely. You have to find their events, and you have to go there with frequency. And then, beyond that, seek opportunities to speak and share the keynote presentation that you developed. Hey, by the way, I've developed this great presentation on how to market a landscaping company, and I'd like to come share it with your group. Hey, yeah, we've got a need, right? These guys have these events every month, and they need to not bore their attendees out of their mind. And so they need speakers to come. And if you're going to come speak on a topic that's interesting and relevant, hey, that just solved the problem for them. And really where this gets useful is no matter what happens, when you join the association, you're going to get the member attendee list, right? Sometimes you'll get their names, email addresses, and phone numbers. Other times you'll get the names and addresses. That's an easy problem to solve, right? You take all of the names, addresses, and phone numbers, you put them into a Google Sheet, you send them off to a virtual assistant who goes and looks these companies up, grabs the emails and puts them in, and now you have a reason to contact them. Hey, I'm the latest member of XYZ Association. I wanted to reach out and introduce myself. Hey, I'm the latest member of the association. I tried to reach you yesterday or last week and didn't hear from you. I just wanted to see if it'd be okay with you if I sent you a copy of my book, right? I want to invite you to a webinar that I've got coming up. This is a lot more powerful, especially when you combine it with the events and they start to see you hanging out at their quarterly and annual events, and they're getting emails from you and they're getting webinar invites from you. Now you've got some momentum. So, to me, the association play is huge. Web strategy, got to have a cool website, needs to have good relevant information, should be built to rank for your keywords, roofing, internet marketing, roofing, lead generation, right? You create content for that stuff. You guys know how to do this. Pay-per-click campaign, there are people searching for internet marketing for their type of business. So you should be paid search advertising for that. And in some places, social media advertising is a great play, especially retargeting for me. I've done a lot of Facebook targeted advertising, trying to find the plumbers and get them, a lead magnet, a cheat sheet, a free copy of our book. But since we get so much traffic to our site, the best play is to pixel those guys. Now they've left the site and they see me on Facebook into perpetuity. And so social media is a great play. Automatic webinar, so record your keynote presentation, put it on Stealth Seminar, something along those lines, EverWebinar. There's all kinds of different options for this. But the nice thing about an automatic webinar is the on-ramp of new prospects. So somebody gets added to your funnel, they download your guide, or you reach out to them, and you can always have a webinar to invite them to. Hey, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I've got a webinar. I'm going to be unpacking the best internet strategy for dental offices, and I wanted to invite you to attend. Easy to set up and pretty powerful. It's a great way to automate your marketing at some level. Let's see. Strategic cold calling. I have a big issue with cold calling. I'm not a big fan of it, but at the same time, inbound lead generation is earned, right? If you're at a place where you've got enough leads coming in that you don't have to chase down business, you've earned that, right? You created your positioning assets, you created inbound marketing opportunities, and now you've earned the right to live off your inbound leads. But if you're sitting by your phone, waiting for the phone to ring or waiting for leads to come in and nothing's happening, this may be your only choice. Pick up the phone, make calls, get appointments, and hit your KPIs, which is going to help you hit your goals. Now, don't just call blind, right? You've got a niche, you've hopefully got an association, and you've got a simple strategy like what I outlined. Hey, want to introduce myself, wanted to send you a copy of my guide, wanted to invite you to my webinar, and on and on and on. This is a great way to generate leads and opportunities. Exhibiting at the trade shows, speaking engagements, direct mail, and Jimmy mentioned this, FedEx, extremely powerful. High quality, high impact mailing is one of the most powerful marketing strategies you can use, because unlike inbound leads through Facebook, through SEO, through pay-per-click, you're going to get anybody, right? And usually the best prospects are the larger clients, the guys doing $1 million to $5 million per year and more, right? Those guys are the ones that have the money, that will spend on advertising, that see the value of good service. Those are the guys you want. A lot of times those guys aren't browsing the internet looking for what you do. And that's where you can build a list, hyper-target the biggest and the best within that industry, and send them a high-impact package, FedEx or UPS Express. And they get something in the mail that's got a great sales letter, maybe has a video book, maybe has a copy of your book inside of it with examples and case studies with a strong call to action. Very powerful way to generate leads within your space. And it gives you legitimacy. That's what Dave just mentioned. Absolutely gives you some legitimacy. And the last of our 9 is going to be content marketing. Now, this is putting out new content on a consistent basis. And I find most of us get hung up on this. And that's why I wanted to put it in there. You think, okay, I'm going to set up my website. I'm going to create some cool content. I'm going to drive some paid traffic to it. I'm going to get the list of members from the association. I'm going to email market to them. I'm going to toss them into my automatic webinar. And I'll just wait for the phones to ring. The fact is, they might sit on that first webinar. They may or may not be impressed. They may or may not buy. And now you have no reason to remain top of mind with them. You've run out of new content. You can't send them the same webinar, the same emails, month after month, week after week. So what you have to do, and this is where it really becomes powerful, is you create new webinars and new content on a monthly basis. So as opposed to having one automatic webinar, you do your 2018 Internet Marketing Plan webinar. And now it's fresh, it's new, and you have something to invite them to, and you have something to send them the replay about. And then the next month you do one on how to set up a roofing website to convert at the highest level possible. And then the next month you do a webinar on how to get a roofing website ranked in organic search. And then you do another webinar on some other topic. And it's this fresh, relevant content that you're inviting them to, conducting live, sending the replay, uploading to YouTube, putting on the podcast, that makes you extremely viral. And it really is what accelerates that process from them going from never heard of this guy to he is like the guy, right? And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to choose your niche, like I think Scott mentioned, position yourself as the expert, and then get customers coming to you on a consistent basis so you can accomplish your goals and you can accelerate the growth of your agency. So what I want to do now is share an example of this. And the example I'm going to share is Alan Hillsberg. He works for Funeral Marketing Services. He actually joined our program back in like 2015. And he was probably like a lot of you. He did local SEO, he built websites, he did mobile optimization, and he was stuck. Like he couldn't get out of like the $10,000 a month range. And he was spinning his wheels and there was no momentum. He followed what I've laid out for you here, right? He picked a niche. He started going after it with relentless focus. And within less than a year, he grew it to over $30,000 per month. Now, I'll say he built it almost exclusively through cold calling. He was just one of those guys, right? He would pick up the phone, he'd call, he'd get their attention, and he would make strategy sessions. Always targeting 20 plus strategy sessions per month. Always got new clients, always had revenue growth. What he did differently in 2016 is he started to leverage some of the other marketing strategies that I've talked about. He joined the association. He exhibited at the events. He put together some webinar-based content. And I can tell you today, going into 2018, he is positioned to be a 7-figure agency, and he will be one by the end of the year. And that's the power of this whole process, right? Choosing a niche, positioning yourself, and then leveraging all of the different marketing strategies to get customers coming to you on a consistent basis. So I want to ask you now, and I want you to post this in comments, what are the 3 marketing initiatives that you're going to implement in your agency that will help you to get more and more customers coming to you on a consistent basis? Well, I hope you got value from this session. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on how to more effectively grow and scale your digital marketing agency, I'd like to invite you to go to 7figureagency.com. There you'll find a training series completely free of charge that walks you through how we were able to grow our agency from zero to over $300,000 per month in less than 7 years, and how we're adding clients on a consistent basis. So we walk you through the quickest way to position yourself as the expert in a particular market and proven models to get customers coming to you pre-positioned to buy. So if you got value from this and you would like more, you can go to 7figureagency.com. There's a free video series for you there. Just get there, you'll enter your name, your email address, and you'll get access in the next couple of minutes. So thanks for joining us. Go to 7figureagency.com now, and we'll talk to you soon.